So I get an email today from a guy who I've been talking about doing a project with, and he says, sorry I've been a little bit delayed. I got married and I'm on my honeymoon. I'm on my honeymoon in Portland, Maine, going to Bar Harbor this week. I was like, that's fantastic. Let's meet up. So we're meeting up. And what better place to meet up than Holy Donut? Just walked in the house from turning the grill on, and Rachel is doing some fun stuff on her kitchen counter. What are you doing here, Rachel?
Oh, I'm just,
This looks like some fun activities that I used to partake in.
It looks illegal, but it's not. It's some Greek oregano from our friend Left Terry.
Oh.
And it's amazing. It smells amazing. But you have to remove it from there and put it in your jar.
You want to smell it? Here, smell it, Internet.
Oh, that's a good picture.
You can smell it, Internet.
Scratch and sniff.
Greek oregano. Just happened to be grilling some dinner tonight. Have a nice view of my yard of hay. I'm just curious about what is actually happening here. I don't know, if somebody wants to leave it in the comments about what's going on, I am not 100% sure. The hay keeps blowing away. My assumption was the hay is used to hold the grass seed down, but then there's crows eating the grass seed. This philosophy around this, I'm just not sure what the situation is. Maybe one day we'll have grass. Maybe when you come to visit, we can sit on the grass with a picnic. We shall see. Today I was thinking about, I had a lot of business activities today. I actually didn't really do anything else besides take some business stuff. Went on a walk, was able to get outside for a little bit today, but it was a lot of business things. I started working on the header for the website on MikeJWatts.com. If you haven't been there yet, go over there, opt in. You'll get an email from me over the next couple of days. I'm gonna email that list that's over there. I was thinking about, like, what is scarier, having a baby or starting a business? I think the honest truth is starting a business, actually, because people that have had kids are afraid to start a business. People that are having children or want to have children are afraid to start a business. And then I started thinking about, why is that true? I think it's true because it's more so of fear. And I believe that starting a business is not a culturally normal thing to do, right? Society, the majority of folks in society don't start a business. They don't put their faith in themselves. They give it to a company, or they give it to the government, or they put their power into someone else's hand, which is much different than having a baby. Having a baby is a very cultural norm thing to do. It's something many people do all the time, and they get started with. But starting a business, there's a lot of fear around it. And let's talk about fear for a second. Like, what is the worst case scenario? I was talking to somebody today, and they were giving me a lot of the issues they have going on right now. There's a lot of growth happening in their life, a situation that was going on in their life, and I just said, what's the worst case scenario? And she's like, well, I don't have a place to live. The business I was running isn't currently working. I'm like, what's the worst case scenario? Like, are you gonna be on the street? Like, are you gonna live on the street? And she's like, no, because there was always someone that I know that'll allow me to sleep on a couch or somebody like that. So that's kind of the worst case scenario of your situation, right? It was like, be on the street, living and sleeping on the street, which isn't gonna happen. So when it comes to fear and it comes to starting the business, like, what is the worst possible case scenario? It's probably not gonna come true. But we think about that worst case scenario, and that's what we live inside. Like, that's what we really think that's what's gonna happen. But when we start a business, I'd say a lot of times fear is about rejection and getting rejected. Like, putting a video out like this every single day, there is some negative comments, some negative feedback that comes with it. It's easier to talk bad about something than it is to actually do something. It's much harder to do it than it is to talk about it, right? So you get a lot of rejection. You hear a lot from people that don't have experience with it that like to talk. What is the fear that's stopping you from starting the business that you really want? Are you making some excuse about, I don't have the perfect website, I don't have the perfect header, I don't have the perfect tagline, I don't have the perfect this or this, I don't have the perfect video, I don't have the perfect camera? Is it the how-to that's stopping you? How to do this, how to do that? Or is it really the fear that's stopping you? And really start looking at that fear. What is the fear? Why are you afraid of getting everything started? There's too many folks that I come in contact with on a daily basis that have told me that they're gonna start when the time slows down. They're gonna start this. They're gonna start it when this. They're gonna take action when this. That when this or when this frees up never happens. I remember when I started my USANA business, and the guy that I started with lived in Florida, and him and I were talking on the phone, and he said, what's your schedule? Are you ready to get started in USANA now? And I said, well, actually I'm about to have surgery right now, which I'll be pretty out of it for 2 weeks, just recovery, repair, you know, all drugged up, all that stuff. And he goes, well, we can still get started now. You can start some training while you ended up doing it. So 2 days before I actually went into surgery, I started my USANA business. And if it wasn't for him to push me to do that, I don't know if I would have ever started, because it was that guy that was just like, today's the perfect day to do it. And it happened to be when I was recovering from my surgery is when I did all my training. I was all drugged up on all the medications, and I was able to do all of my training to get things started. And within the first 2 weeks, I already had a little bit of business growth happening. And I told him I would start in 2 weeks from now. And I just want to thank you, Jason, which I've told him this before, but it was thanks to Jason who pushed me through to get everything started. So today is the day. Why wait until tomorrow? Get it started today. It's time to go eat dinner in the Watts household.